Listening to the music at the Bascom Lamar Lunsford Festival, it's easy to forget that most of the performers don't do this for a living, like teacher Nick Hallman, who hosted the Friday night concert and who just a moment ago sang that song about learning to play the guitar. Where did you learn to play the guitar?
Oh, well, people think I'm lying, but it's the truth. I sent off $1 to Wayne Rainey and Lonnie Glosson at WCKY, Cincinnati 1, Ohio, when I was a kid, and got their little book on how to play the guitar. And they had a little picture in there on one of the first pages that said, "This is the pick." So I went out and bought a pick that looked like that and started picking with it, and that's what got me started, really.
How long ago was that?
Well, that's longer. That's close to 25 years ago.
Here in the mountains?
Oh, no, Greenville, South Carolina, kind of down in the foothills. The funny thing is I can come up to Asheville for one of the shindigs on the green they have every Saturday during the summer, and I run into more people I know in Asheville than I do in my hometown of Greenville. I can walk up and down the streets of Greenville all week long, then come to Asheville, and one evening I'll see more people I know than I would in Greenville in a solid week. There's an awful lot of good pickers in this, up in this part of the country. Some sociologists will tell you that when you get up in the mountains, you know, the electricity didn't get back in the hills as fast as it did in other sections of the country, and you know, they can make up all kinds of, not make up, some of it's probably true, you know, but they can give all kinds of reasons why the folks in the hills up here still do more playing, more participation in music rather than just sitting and listening to it over a stereo or something. Folks that live in a big town and work for some big company, make a good salary, can afford to go out and buy a good stereo for $1,000 or $2 if they want to. A lot of these folks up here, if they can buy a good fiddle for $100, you know, they keep it in the family for the rest of their life. And I don't know how much of it's because it might be cheaper, but that could have something to do with it. But I think a good part of it is just the culture growing up with it. It's there, and little kids, before they learn to talk, learn to play the fiddle or the guitar or something and get a note or two on it. If there's one in the house, they'll pick it up and try it.
One of the nice things about this festival, actually, is that the pickers have gotten a chance to really share what they know with each other, and the workshops.
I think the workshops are probably one of the most popular parts of a good festival. I think I don't care, you know, how much somebody else picks up from me. There's always somebody better than I am, and if I can show somebody anything that'll make him better than he is, then I'm more than willing to do it. And I think most of the musicians up here are that way. Now, some places you run into people that don't want to show you what they're doing, you know, it's like it's a trade secret or something. But you find almost none of that up here. I don't care whether it's a fiddler or a banjo picker or what it is. You can stop him and ask him, "Hey, how did you do that?" You know, and they'll generally show you, because it's a very open kind of atmosphere.
At this year's festival, Nick Hallman appraised the progress of the event in keeping the unique Appalachian culture alive.
I think in the last few years, the older music has really become more popular, especially with the younger people. I think to some extent, they've kind of rediscovered it. They found out that old Lester Flatt and Earl Scruggs and Bill Monroe and some of these fellas that people maybe used to look down on because they were country musicians and that wasn't as good as something else. You know, people have begun to realize that this is an art form in itself. And in looking at this, I think they've gone back before the bluegrass sound to the older mountain dance tunes and fiddle tunes and so on, and some of the more ethnic folk music. And it's really becoming, I think, more popular. I think festivals like this help. And every year it seems like you see a few more of the younger people there. It's kind of slow. It's not the boom that it was with the Kingston Trio. There's no big white bunch of knights in shining armor like the Beatles leading the masses or anything, but it's there, and it's growing,